MKMIX TV, sponsored by Network Rail.
My name is Tina, like I said earlier, Princess Tina Beloveth Powerful. Prior to this time, I was Miss Tina Ago. Ironically, Ago means lion. And when you mix lion and power, you know, powerful, you know what you're getting. So that's, it's not a coincidence when God has a purpose for such, because He said good name is better than silver and gold.
That's right.
So that's about my name. And I'm an international law specialist. But prior to this time, I was a bank manager back home in Nigeria. Haven't studied, I studied English, my first degree at University of Port Harcourt. Then proceeded to my master's degree in business administration, where then having risen to a position of honor in the banking industry, I came into United Kingdom year 2004 to pursue a degree in law, just to add value to myself, because I come from a background of lawyers. My foster father is a Supreme Court judge in Nigeria, and he urged me to go studying law when I was a bank manager in Nigeria. But before then too, I had always wanted to become a lawyer. That's my childhood ambition, to be a lawyer. So coming to United Kingdom is like a dream come true, fulfilling dreams and aspiration. So that's about me. Then I came into United Kingdom, went into University of Buckingham, studied law, my first degree in law, then did my master's in law, and then I became an international law specialist, to His glory, to God's glory. I was the overall best student in jurisprudence award winner in Buckingham, and I got a merit in my master's degree. Well, when I came to study at University of Buckingham, I finished my first degree in law. I wanted to, because the place is like in a village. It's so quiet and serene, good place for good education, A friend of mine who had stayed here in Milton Keynes came to school to say, why won't you come to Milton Keynes? Why won't you come to Milton Keynes? That is a very good place and all that too. Then I followed her to come into to see where the city, though however, I've been coming to Milton Keynes to do shopping. But coming to do shopping is different from coming to live in here. Then before I came to do my master's in law, then I came to look at the city again to assess it for whether it's good for research and education, because I am more indebted in education and all that, thinking towards education and research. So I knew I was going to do my PhD in law and all that, and I was about to pursue my master's in law. So I was looking for a quiet place, a serene place where I can conduct my education without disturbance. So when I came into Milton Keynes, I saw that the city is peaceful, so quiet and serene, and the environment recommends itself into my noble senses. So I felt that's a very beautiful place for research. Then I came in to dwell in Milton Keynes. That is how I came into Milton Keynes. Well, because I had lived at the Highbrow area in Nigeria, we're talking about Ikoyi, it's a government reserved quarter, what you call JRA. It's so quiet and serene, and my workplaces have all been in such environment. There is no much significant, difference. It's quiet and serene, but the only difference is just the cold, the snow, the cold, the snow. That just a bit, what's different about, because I was where I had worked in the banking industry. I had worked in Victoria Island, and I had lived at Cameron, that's Ikoyi, in Lagos, to be more precise. So significantly, there's no much difference in terms of its serene nature, quiet and peaceful place. So that's about the attraction. The only difference, like I said earlier, the cold, and the snow. Yes. Well, Like I had said earlier, it's slow and steady. Slow, because he said is slow and steady wins the race. So I were gradually networking. At the moment, myself and my husband, we've been on television, spreading the gospel, reaching the unreached and making the unreachable reachable. So when we say reaching the unreached and making the unreachable reachable, when you're into the television, that's Sky 596, you're reaching quite a lot of multitude. And that's basically what we're doing, spreading the gospel, teaching them to observe the commandments of God and our Lord Jesus Christ. That's basically my calling. Every other thing is just an addition to what I'm doing. And so that's number one. The second one is that we have opened quite a lot of charity, just to continue to reach the unreached and make the unreachable reachable, and to make the unemployed to become employable, and to make loving both the lovable and the unlovable together. So we opened a charity called, when I say we, I mean myself and my husband. So we opened the first one, Agape Love Stop Youth Crime Global Network. And that's about helping the youth to overcome crimes, overcome vices and violence, to help them to become more proactive, more responsive, responsible, as it were, and to eschew evil and uphold righteousness. That's about Agape Love Stop Youth Crime Global Network. So we opened yet another charity, African and Caribbeans Got Great Talent, African and Caribbean Forum MK. So in this aspect, we intend to have the youth and the elderly to meet together and to ensure there is because we believe that cross-fertilization of opinion fosters progress in life. So we're in a way whereby we integrate both the old and the young, and helping the youth, African youth more especially, to learn about the cultures of other people within the Milton Keynes, because Milton Keynes has a huge heritage, huge heritage that we want to integrate, that we want to get them to learn about other people's culture and the Commonwealth, nations. Well, like I said earlier, I came into United Kingdom on a mission, and because things about God is not what you, like our Lord Jesus Christ said, I have come to do the will of he that has sent me, and the messenger has no words of his own, but a message of him that sent him. So I could not precisely say I'm going to live here indefinitely, neither will I say that I'm living here tomorrow. So I leave it in the hands of God, and as at the time, but left for me, I'm seeing in the future here in Milton Keynes. I want to settle here in Milton Keynes because I have laid solid foundation in Milton Keynes. So I want to expand those foundations that I have laid in Milton Keynes. That we have again, one of the outreach that we have put in together in Milton Keynes is Beloveth International Ministries, the City of God, and that's what we're using for the television outreach. Well, I will want to encourage them to move without hesitation. I will want to encourage them to come, because this is a place that needs to be a place, that's so serene, crime-free, unlike all the violence that you have been hearing all over the world. But here in Milton Keynes is like a new heaven, that Jesus has been talking about, a new heaven, a place that is so quiet and serene. Like I said earlier, the environment recommends itself into my noble senses. So I will very much recommend whoever that wants to move without hesitation. Well, it's a one man's meat is another man's poison. I love it. I love, you understand, because I do know that a lot of people are clamoring to go into America. And now that America has been brought into their corners, just by the, so they should embrace it and love it and want to be here. I love it, but again, it depends on, like I said earlier, one man's meat is another man's poison. So just as as much as I love it, some other person, it depends on the person too. But if I need to encourage people, I will say you will not be making a mistake. You will be having fun, galore, and you'll be doing yourself a world of good if you move into Milton Keynes, because it's a place to be. It's a very peaceful place to be, quiet and loving, with the loving people, with the rich culture in and around Milton Keynes. And well, future of Milton Keynes, I can see a very bright and golden future here in Milton Keynes. That's why I felt it's a place to be, a place that I wouldn't want to live for anything, any other place, not even America. I would want to dwell here in Milton Keynes. So I see the future of Milton Keynes as a World Trade Center. A World Trade Center, though small, said do not despise the days of little beginnings. So this place is going to be, a huge, a World Trade Center in the near future, nearer than people expect. And this book is titled "The Rule of Law: Your Human Rights and President Obama's Position on Immigration Law." The book, what came into my mind when though a collection of all the work that I did when I was in University of Buckingham, starting from year 2004 up to year 2008. So it's basically, just to help the immigrants. I am so compassionate. I have a lot of feelings for people, for humanity, especially the less privileged, So I have the immigrants in all over the world. My major concern, while I had to articulate, because I do know that it's only in heaven that all men are equal. But realistically speaking, from what I have seen and what I have read, all men are not equal. But they try to paint it to make people believe that all men are equal, because they tell you that all men are subject to the law. But when you see the application, you notice that not all men are subject to the same law. It's just on the book, theoretically, but practically speaking, it is only in heaven that all men are equal before the law. So having said that, I would want everyone who is a human, because immigration is an inevitable human experience. If you have not traveled today, you will travel tomorrow, because we were meant to understand that a globetrotter is wiser than a grey-haired man stationed in a home. So I would be advising everyone who is an immigrant to pick up this book and read it, so that you'll be able to find your human rights to enable you to migrate to wherever you are restrained.
MKMIX TV, sponsored by Network Rail.